Shalom, family. It's good to see you all. Sorry about the time. Something kind of popped up on me unexpectedly, but I'm here now, and I'm going to give you an update on this Victoria's Secret Karen that has not been very truthful at all. So she has conveniently lied about everything. And a lot of folks are upset over, the Millburn Police Department and how these cops went out and conducted themselves and was completely unconcerned about what happened to this Black woman. So, she is actually still waiting for the store to provide the surveillance. And she said once she gets that, she will do a video on YouTube about it. So it's just so much going on. And look, any woman that'll waddle all over the floor like a pig, she'll do anything, including lie. That's the way I see it. The way she stayed on that floor, this woman is definitely out of her mind. So let me see. I'm going to get everything set up and then I'll share my screen with you. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right, family. Can everybody see the screen? Please give me a 1. Okay, perfect. All right, this woman, as we know, is Gabrielle. Not Gabrielle. It's Abigail.
The Canadian women's national soccer team has won its first
Abigail Elphick. Okay, so there's a little update on her. And this came out on New Jersey 101.5, August 5th, 2021. Short Hills, New Jersey Mall Karen. What's happened to the women in the viral video? So far, no charges. I don't expect them to put any charges on her. It'll be shocking if they do. The way those cops came out, there was a clear indicator they didn't want to do anything to her. They stayed completely on code for real when it came down to this woman. And, don't forget, she started this whole thing in the store and then suddenly tried to scream and holler her way into being the victim in the whole thing. And it just simply didn't work. In fact, she just made a fool out of herself, if nothing else. She made a complete fool out of herself. So she had the meltdown inside the Victoria's Secret at the mall at Short Hills. And this took place in July. Ijeoma Ukenta, 38, this was the Black woman from Newark. She claims a white woman followed her around in the store, threatened her, and took a swing on her on July 10th. Ukenta recorded the video of the incident and posted it to YouTube, but it is no longer visible. YouTube took it down, so YouTube is out here staying on code too. They took it down. In the video, a woman who is not identified began to cry and sob loudly and asked Ukenta to stop recording because she was concerned about her job. The white woman later told police that she was having a panic attack. It looked more like a performance than a panic attack. Ukenta said She kept recording an effort to protect herself. Ukenta created a GoFundMe account, which has collected $104,000 in donations. She said she would be using that to hire a lawyer. So good for her. I'm glad she got the money, because I think she was looking for 20,000 and she ended up getting 104,000. So good for her. Good for her. She told police she was going to file a complaint against the officers who responded to the mall because she was unhappy about how they handled the situation. And if you remember, she went up to the police station and the cop she was dealing with did not even want to even file an incident. He barely wanted to tell her how it was done. So again, everybody's staying on code. Okay, so what happened since the video went viral? Millburn police told New Jersey 101.5 that an internal investigation is ongoing into the officers' action. Don't hold your breath on them doing anything to these officers. Okay, don't hold your breath. They're doing an internal investigation, which means they're investigating themselves, and we know how laughable that is. Okay, so no charges have been filed, and neither woman filed a complaint about the police or other, which is false, because the Black woman did try to file a complaint. It is not clear where the women in the video are now. The GoFundMe identifies the woman in the video as Abigail Elphick. Internet rumors spread that she worked for Cedar Knolls School District and her father worked for the Sea Caucus Police. Now, I know where Sea Caucus is. From my house, I could get to Sea Caucus, New Jersey in about an hour. Okay, so it's more north of me. And I knew a dude that back in my college days, he lived in Sea Caucus. Let's just put it this way. Sea Caucus is a very high IQ place in New Jersey. And that dude that I knew from there, I didn't like him at all. So the school district posted its website. So they have a website, and they posted that she did not work for the school district at all. She did not work there. Sea Caucus Police also posted on Facebook, and they said the officer that she claimed was her father, he said they shared the same last name, but are not related. He doesn't even know who she is, but she said this was her father that worked on the Sea Caucus Police Department. His last name is Elphick, but he said he is not related to her. He doesn't even know who she is. But she said this was her father. Your father don't know you? Just lying, just lying. In fact, no officer from the Sea Caucus Police Department is related to any person involved in this incident, the department said. So they posted that out on Facebook shortly after she gave the claim that her father worked for the Sea Caucus Police. Ukenta posted a video on her YouTube channel that she would talk to whatever outlet she wanted when she was ready and was waiting for the security footage from the store for a new video she would create about the incident. So I don't think she got the footage, the surveillance footage from the store, because I went out and looked. I did not see any updates on it. So she might not have gotten it yet. And who knows, they may be reluctant about putting this out as well. You know, they may have their own reasons on why they don't want to put this out. Thanks, Laddie TT, for the super sticker. You know, I wouldn't even be surprised just looking at her conduct in the video, y'all. I wouldn't be surprised if this woman even got a warrant out for her arrest. She wasn't acting that crazy for no reason. You have to wonder, there was something she did not want out there. And I'm starting to think she got a criminal background. That's just my opinion. If that were not the case, she's just acting way over the top. And then when the police officers come, why do all of that lying to the police? But see, this is poor police work. They did a terrible job when they came out there. All they did was talk to her. When you go back and look at the video, they didn't talk to anybody else in that store. They just took her side and just left. But I mean, come on, look at the two cops that showed up. They look just like her. So I guess we can't be too shocked over that. Yeah, I think so too, Jonathan Kopp. Jonathan said she's obviously hiding. So I believe that too. There's something in her background. She don't want that to come out. I think that's what all the lies are about. But I think she was kind of dumb to lie and say a cop was her father. And then later on, they're finding out there was no relations at all. She was kind of stupid for doing that. Yeah, Strawberry 32, I think so too. There's something up. With the amount of lying she did, there's definitely something up about her. And without them doing an investigation, how are you going to find out anything? If they really wanted to do an investigation on her, they could have done it. They could have done it. Yeah, I mean, Quincy, he's not claiming her at all. He said he don't know who she is. The only thing they got is the same last name. That's what the officer said. So how can that be your daddy? I mean, seriously, how could that be her daddy? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is a fraud, Sean. I mean, she is, but those cops came out there and she was the only one they wanted to hear from. It was, I mean, I could see if it was two cops, right? One could have talked to this black woman and one could have talked to Abigail. I don't know why they just didn't split up and talk to the two women, right? But both of them stayed over there with her and nobody even came to get any kind of statement from the black woman. So, they weren't interested in her side of the story. I mean, you can't get more blatant than that. Mm-mm-mm. There's actually James Richardson. There's actually a white guy doing that. In fact, one of my videos, I think it was the Alameda Karen. He actually went over and made a comment. He did on one of my Karen videos, and he said he couldn't stand Karen either. He got a whole channel dedicated to Karen videos, and you would think we would be more likely to do it. No, it's some white guy on YouTube doing that stuff. Yeah, I mean, she's entitled to getting that surveillance footage, and you would think they would have given it to her by now, but who knows? But once she lawyers up, she'll have access to it. Yes, Hood Mistress. You want to hear something else funny about that video? There's another video. Apparently, he wasn't by himself. When he was cussing that woman out, that old elderly white woman, his wife was sitting in the car. There's another video showing her reaction when she heard her husband cussing out Alameda Karen, and she's just laughing. He's laughing her behind off in the car. That video, I think, just came out like a week ago, where you could see his wife sitting in the car laughing as he's cussing this old Alameda Karen out. Mm-hmm. Well, I hope, once she finally hires a lawyer, I hope that everything goes in Ijeoma Ukenta's favor. She definitely would deserve it. And at this point, I think Abigail, if she even got a subpoena, she'll probably more than likely try to ignore it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, what she did was smart. The whole thing got kicked off with Abigail. What she did was she shoved her way in front of the black woman. And that's when she grabbed her phone and started recording her. She literally started that entire thing in the store. And then when she realized she was being recorded, that's when she lost her mind. But yeah, I mean, look, even when they are randomly messing with us out in the street, you can see it on their face. One thing about them, they are very bad at hiding their emotion. When they're about to approach one of us, you can just see all in their face that their intentions are evil. It's all over their face. And it's not hard to pick up on either. So before they get started, it would be in your best interest to record them. As soon as they start walking in your direction, start recording, because chances are they're up to no good. Plain and simple. No, they're very bad at hiding it. It's just like when we gather in a group and talk, you see it all over their face. They're not comfortable with it. So they'll just be peering and looking and looking and looking. And then all of a sudden they'll come out of nowhere. Hey, what are y'all talking about? We don't have to tell them what we're talking about. Get the hell out of here. But that's what they'll do. I was talking to, this must have been back in 2019. I was in the local Rite Aid and I ran into somebody I went to high school with. So we hadn't seen each other in a long time. So of course we're in the store just talking and, oh my God, you look great. Oh, you look, so we were just getting all into the conversation. It was this old chubette, Karen, across the aisle from us. She's staring and staring. What the fuck are you staring at? Just do your shopping. Mind your business. So she walked up to us. And I turned around and I just looked at her and I said, I am not talking to you. What are you doing over here? I'm not talking to you. And I guess I made her feel so uncomfortable, she left. But they do that kind of stuff all the time. But you literally can see on their face what their intentions are. And I don't think they even realize they do that. It's a clear indicator that they're about to hone in on you and try to pull some fast one. Mm-hmm. No, you should never let them butt in your conversation, especially some stranger you don't even know. You don't have nothing to say to this person. You don't know who they are. So why do they feel compelled to jump in your conversation? What we gonna stand in the middle of a Rite Aid and conspire some plan up against them? Come on, that's dumb. Nobody is that stupid. Who goes out to a store to do that? No one. Nobody does that, okay? Because it's dumb. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's why, I love what that black woman said that was out at the dog park. She said, "We are never alone because there's always some white person trying to be all up in your business." I said, that is the quote of the century right there, because that's true. Hmm. You want to hear something funny? One of my son's friends said that. You know how we talk about just like that new plant I told you about that I did a video on. It's not a new plant, it's been around forever. But that hemlock plant is an invasive species. Well, my son was telling his he was telling his friend that it was an invasive species. He said, "Yeah, some people are invasive species too." I said, "You know what? He's right about that." I was laughing. He said, "Yeah, some people on this planet are invasive species." I said, "That's just what they are." That's just what they are. We don't have to be invasive to anybody. We're just trying to live our life in peace. So we're not interested in invading upon other people like that. We just want to be left alone and live our days and nights in peace. That's what we want. Usually when we see them gathered, we don't give a damn about what they're talking about. We couldn't be, we couldn't be less interested. We're not trying to go over there and dive in we ain't trying to do none of that mess. Hmm. It's just like, they come and troll us. We don't go troll them. Mm-mm. We don't be looking around to troll them because they're not interesting enough to troll. I'm being honest. I'm being honest. Thank you, Sammy. Sammy O, for the super sticker. Thank you very much. Even online, I don't look for them online. When they're having live streams, I'm not looking for them on live stream. I'm not doing none of that stuff. I don't care what they're talking about. I could care less. Thank you, James Richardson, for the super sticker. Now, I know I've heard some people say, they'll just go and listen, but I can't even do that. I can't even go and listen. It's just some of the topics are just not interesting to me. It's not enough to hold my attention. So I don't go over there and listen to none of that. And as far as them talking about us, I mean, when do they ever have anything good to say about us? Never. So what would be the purpose of me going? They never have anything to say. Nothing. I guess all of us are bad. We all bad all the time. And that's it, which is a bold faced lie. Which is a bold faced lie. So I don't even bother going over there to listen. It's the most uninteresting rant ever. Even when you watch it on video, it's very uninteresting. They're only getting themselves all worked up at the end of the day. They're not getting me worked up. They're getting themselves worked up. Thank you, Randy Sinclair, for the super sticker. Thank you, Dee, for the super chat. They listen to us in order to steal and control. Remember the black girl on TikTok that made up that dance and then the white girl stole it? Yeah, but Dee, when she stole the dance, she was stale. You know what I'm saying? Her dance was stale. She didn't even have the same energy that the black girl had. I saw that dance, and in comparison, it was like day and night. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I think it is online, y'all? I think they're shocked to come across black folks like us. I think they're used to those Candace Owens type in person, the ones that are willing to go above and beyond to try to get along with them and talk to them and hang with them. And I think when they come across us, it's shocking to them because I think, and this you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think they get told when they're raised that we just love the hell out of them. And that's not true. There may be some that do, but all of us, no, all of us don't love you. And I think that is a shocking thing. I think they really do believe and internalize the things they learn when they're being raised. So when they come across us, if you notice, they're shocked. And then after they get over the shock, their attack is, you're a racist, you're a liar, you're a racist and a liar. And it's like, that shit ain't working. You realize that shit ain't working? That ain't working. That is not working. But that's the kind of stuff, they can't come at you no other way verbally, but try to debunk you by calling you a racist and a liar. That's it. They don't have nothing else in their bag of tricks. So that's how they're not used to that. It really throws them off when they come across people that are not willing to lap up on their ass. And really, they can only tolerate the butt kissers for so long. And after a while, they will dispel them and they'll just kick them to the curb eventually. And plus, you can't trust a traitor. These people that are sellout, you can't trust them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what, James, they are shocked. And I can see it in their face, especially, when they come across someone like that. You can see it in their face. You could even see it back during the time of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, when they would try to come around and talk to them. Do you remember that scene in Malcolm X where the white woman walked up and said, "What can I do? What can I do?" And he said, "Absolutely nothing." And he walked away. Did you see that look on her face? That's how it is for them. That's how it is. Did she respond back to him when he told her absolutely nothing? No. She just stood there looking shocked. Because, see, when you don't favor them like that, they don't know how to respond to it. They can only respond in one way, and that was the way they were told that we're scared and we just love them and we want to be around, we want to be them and all that stuff. And it's just not true. It may be true for some, but definitely not all of us within the Black community. Yeah, I mean, they will do that. But almighty, are you really impacted when they call you a racist? I'm not. I'm not. Okay. And the reason why I'm not is because we don't have no system in place that has been against them for 500 years. We don't mass incarcerate them. There are no black cops out there just shooting them in the back as they're running away. I mean, none of them things. We are not economically keeping them down. So when they say this, it just blows off. I don't, it does not impact me. I think what it is when they get called a racist, it deeply impacts them. They feel it. That's why some of them will cry when you call them a racist. But for us, they couldn't show us where we have been racist for 500 years like them to save their mama's life. They couldn't show you that. That's why I don't internalize it. It just blows right off, and I keep right on going. It's not having any impact whatsoever. Brandon Cruz sings. Hold on, let me go back to you. Thank you for the super chat. When they pulled the last rabbit out of the hat, they always go to screaming. Yeah. It's their mating call. I would have screamed like a fool, like she did. Bet she piped down. Yeah, yeah, she would have if you screamed back up in her face. Yeah, you got that right. Yeah, I mean, look, they couldn't. We could show them 500 years of evidence of racism, but they can't show that on us. And that's the thing. That's why I don't even. I'm so unconcerned about them calling me that. It's not even funny. D. I told a racist neighbor I will drop him if he steps to me, and he was shocked. The police came, and I repeated it in front of the police, and all were shocked. The police said, "Leave alone. We can't protect you." Yeah, you said it in front of the cop. Hey, you got every right. To me, a human right is self-defense, plain and simple. B1 Queensland, you said you can't deflect your racism onto us. What the Pee Wee Herman? I know you are, but what am I? Yeah, high IQ nonsense is this? Yeah, you're right. Maybe they should ask the Kenyans how to respond. Maybe they can, since the Kenyans are doing all their homework for college and when they're in the university, maybe they can go and ask them how to deal with racism. Ask the Kenyans. Ask the Nigerians. Shoot, you getting all your other answers from them. Why don't you get your answers from them for racism too? Oh yeah, some of the THLP, yeah, some of the celebrities, the high IQ celebrities are talking about how they don't bathe and don't feel the need to bathe all the time, and they don't bathe their kids. And one said they don't even bathe their kids until they start looking dirty. But isn't that how they get head lice? By not, constantly keeping on top of your hygiene? Isn't that one of the way they get head lice? I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. No, Donna C, you know what? You're right. Washing their hands. I've been in the bathroom where they'll go to the bathroom and walk right out and don't wash their hands. I've seen that many, many times with them not washing their hands, especially when I was still out there working. Quite a few of them would just go and do their thing in the bathroom and walk the hell up on out of there. They wouldn't even wash their hands. Well, yeah. I mean, look, how many times have you been stuck in the elevator? You can tell when you go in an elevator because that odor is just there when they're not bathing all the time, and you go in a closed in place around those kind of people that won't bathe all the time. You can smell them. You can smell them. Yeah, somebody wrote they take a shower with their hands, Donna C, and not a washcloth. Donna, let me tell you something. I must have been I must have been in my early 20s. We have a park up here and it has a creek in the back. You can literally walk in the back, and people ride their boats around and everything back there. Well, when you go back there, one time we went back there just to watch the boats go back and forth. We were just standing there looking, and there was a guy, a high IQ guy, in the creek water with a bar of soap, and he was rubbing the soap all over him, washing, no washcloth, just a bar of soap. He was actually taking a bath in the creek water. And we were standing there in shock. But this dude was taking a bath in the creek water. Okay. I was like, I am too through right now. Yes. Yes. And it was really interesting walking around the creek over there, because I discovered a few things. Banana trees do grow in New Jersey. When I look, there's like an area, and there's all these big wild trees over there. And when you look over there, there were pecan trees. I'm like, damn, there's trees that I didn't even know was in New Jersey. There were several banana trees in there. And I didn't even think banana trees could survive in the New Jersey climate. But there were banana trees over there. And I was just standing there shocked at the trees that I was told could not survive in New Jersey. And a lot of them are growing in that area. So I don't know if they were always there. You know what? I never did until I went to the park, and there's a whole section where it's all wooded. And there, if you look over there, you'll see some banana trees in New Jersey. I didn't even know pecan trees could grow in New Jersey. Pecan trees were over there too. I was astonished with what was over there. You know, we get told like certain things can't grow here because of the winters. I'm finding out that's not true. That's not true at all. Brandon Cruising said, thank you for the super chat. When we reject their privilege to their face, they start glitching. Yeah. And when we tell them no, they D3 little inside and go tell daddy the privilege didn't work. Well, I mean, all of their mind games don't work on us. It works on certain Black people. It really does. It works on certain ones, but everyone, no, it don't work on all of us. And just like I think there are things about us where, you know, like a Candace Owens, but I really think deep down inside, even somebody cooning like her, they know she's full of crap. Even some of them know that Candace is full of crap. You can pick up on that. She gets called a grifter. A lot of people can pick up on that. Even they can pick up on her being full of crap. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of them are. But, you know, like I said, when I was working, I could tell. You get stuck in the elevator with a few of them, you would be able to tell. You would be able to tell, you know, that's the case. Sean Scott, wow, at least I'm in New Jersey. I didn't know banana trees and pecan trees exist. I didn't either. Sean, I did not either. The name of this park is Mill Creek Park. And when you go over there, you can walk around the entire park. Like I said, there's a creek in the back. So if you walk between the trees, you can go all the way back to where the creek is. And once you get over there, there's a whole side of the park where it has been untouched. You know, they have not used that space to build on. So those trees have probably been back there for hundreds of years. And when you look, you'll see several banana trees up in there. And you'll see pecan trees over there. I mean, it freaked me out when I saw it. I was like, I didn't even know these trees could survive in our climate, but apparently they can. I guess it has to be like a certain kind of banana tree. Maybe all of them won't survive, but certain ones can. Okay, I see somebody wrote in Pennsylvania they have pecan trees, and in Pennsylvania and New Jersey we have the same climate. So, like I said, I was shocked, and those the banana trees that were there were huge. They were huge. They're just as tall as the other trees. That's how I know they have been undisturbed for many years over there, because even to this day, if you walk back there, it's that whole side is just all wooded, undeveloped land. Del Monte Green Beans, thank you for the super chat. I can't wait for Karen's situation. I'll put the clown shoes on and activate the common sense class. Okay. Yeah, it just take longer to grow. So you're okay. So PSOD, you said it can grow in these climates. It just takes longer for those kind of trees to grow. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Were they producing fruit? You know what? Sequel, Righteous Music. At the time when I saw it, the weather was getting cool. So it would not have been growing then, because it was like in the fall when things we were in that in between weather. I saw them over there, but I did not see the actual fruit on them. But you can see the banana trees over there, and they're just mixed up in with the other trees. So you really got it. There were a few that were right up front where you could clearly see them, and then there were more like kind of mixed in. You would just have to look in between the trees to see them. Mm-hmm. There's 3 Mill Creek Parks on Google. Yes, the one that I'm talking about, Michael, is on right off of Beverly Rancocas Road. That's the one. If you see 3 Mill Creek Park, just look for the one off of Beverly Rancocas Road. That's the area I'm talking about. Kay, thank you so much for the super stickers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? PSOD, we are probably looking at some unusual weather coming in the winter again. You know, that's why I was telling people in Texas, you may get that winter storm again this year. You know, that may actually start becoming the norm for them. The weather has changed dramatically, y'all. From May all the way up until now, we get heat waves every single week. Every single week from May all the way up until now, we have been getting heat waves. We got another one starting on Tuesday, and it's going to end, I think, on Saturday, this upcoming week. There has not been one week that has gone by where we have not had a heat wave. So the weather is changing. I think in places where they're used to it being hot, they're going to start feeling the effects of the cold winters more often. And places like where I am that is cooler, we're going to start feeling the heat waves more. We're already feeling the heat waves more. We're already doing that. We've been doing that for years. But I notice they linger a little longer than they did back when I was a child. Del Monte Green Beans, the winter is going to be brutal. Yes, I work outside. I think so too. I think so too. I think you're right about that. Yeah. Yeah. But it gives you an opportunity of, those of you that are in those areas, it gives you an opportunity to prepare better the next time. Kay, thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. It gives you an opportunity to prepare a lot better than you did the first time. I mean, that's what you learn from it. You know what I mean? It's hard. Now, one thing about the heat, there's only so much you can take off to feel comfortable. But in the winter, you can layer clothing onto yourself, and you can get the comforters and you can wrap yourself up. Because I had to do that, y'all. After Hurricane Sandy, we had no power and the temperature had dropped dramatically. After the hurricane, it was freezing. So I had to layer myself up, and I had like 3 comforters on the bed. But as long as I was in the bed, I was okay. I was all right. It was when you have to step out of the bed to go to the bathroom, that's when you feel the cold. In fact, my dog was still living back then. I had to even put comforters on him to keep him warm because it just got that cold. After that hurricane moved through, it got cold. I think we went down to like the 30s, and that's the 30s with no power. So it was cold. Well, first of all, the leadership really was terrible in Texas. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know whose harebrained idea it was when the winter storm came to shut everybody's power off. That was the dumbest decision ever. Okay. And you notice to this very day, they never revealed the person that made that decision. Okay, they better not ever reveal them because they ain't gonna be safe. And like I said, I have never, in all the years I lived in the Northeast, I have never seen them shut the heat off, shut the power off when we were in bad conditions. It could go down to -1, and they will not shut our power off. So just the fact that they did that was astonishing. And then on top of that, they jacked up all of their bills and said they were not going to make any adjustments on the bills. Those high bills that people got hit with, they just going to have to pay it. That was crazy. That was crazy to me. Yeah, it was corrupt because Renegade 6977, they kept the power on for the rich. So that tells you right there, they had the ability to keep the power on. Any rich person was unaffected by the storm, but anybody that wasn't rich, you were. Judith, Deborah, thank you so much for the super chat. Love your channel. Thank you. Forward Simon Sankofa, thank you so much for the super sticker. Yeah, Keeson, you said I was in Pennsylvania during Hurricane Sandy. Yeah, I have relatives that live over in Overbrook. I don't know if you're familiar with Overbrook. I have relatives that live there. My father's oldest sister and her family lives there, my aunt. And she said all they got was a little bit of rain, and that was it. Boy, we got slammed over here. We got slammed. And there were a bunch of row homes up in, I think it was New York. All the roofs were off of these homes. You would just see the row homes, and there was no roof left on any of the row homes. It was a mess. Yeah. So what you're going to need, Texas, the next time you go through that, start racking up on real thick goose down blankets. Rack up on those, for your family. And also get those thermal underwear and thermal socks and stuff like that. That's what you want. So you'll be able to dress in layers and keep those real thick, bulky comforters around you. It will keep you warm as long as you're under them. Now, when you got to get up and go to the bathroom, that's going to be a whole different issue. But as long as you're under the comforter, it's going to adjust to your body temperature. So you won't really feel the cold as much. Kay, thank you so much for the super chat. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Del Monte green beans. I took a load to Dallas during the snowstorm. All of downtown was lit up with yes, you're right about that, because I remember seeing the pictures. So that tells you right there they had the ability to keep the power on really for everyone, but they chose not to do it. And what was the purpose in keeping building lights on downtown Dallas when nobody was even in those buildings? Nobody was really there, because the roads were all iced over. Because I remember that those roads were all iced over. So, I mean, they really should have turned the power off in those buildings and turned it on for everybody else. Nobody was out there going to work. Yeah, Sandy did a number. We had some people around here. In fact, across street, right around me, they were without power for almost 3 weeks. But on my street, only half of the street got their power back in a few days. And I was lucky enough to be one of those people. It came back in a few days. But some of the other neighbors, like right down the street or across the street, they were out for nearly 3 weeks. I mean, it didn't make sense how one half of the street was on, one half of the street was out for that amount of time. It was just crazy. Yeah. So, I mean, really, it's all about planning. Hopefully, the next time around, they won't shut the power off on people in Texas. Hopefully, you won't have to endure that anymore. Raven Knight, you said I got on the phone with Channel 8 cussing them out. Yeah. Atlantic City, Michael, Brudja. I remember a lot of the. Do you know a lot of the homes? Those shoreline homes. Really, those are like $1 million homes, all by the ocean. All of those homes got swept into the ocean. All of them. A lot of houses got swept into the ocean. And you would just go down there and you would see the streets, but the homes were completely gone. They all got swept away. Loveline Turner, thank you so much for the super chat. Shalom, Lisa. Shalom to you too. Yes, people did die during Hurricane Sandy. In fact, a man not far from me died after the storm. I don't know why he did this. When the storm was over, it was still dark. So I was like, you know what? We can go outside and look to see if there's damage, when the daylight comes. I was not willing to go out there in the dark because, after the storm was over, the street lights were out. It was pitch black out there. There was no street lights. Everybody's power was out. I didn't see no point in going outside at that point. So I said, just wait until daylight. Then we can all go out and just assess whatever damage there is. This guy decided to go outside after the storm passed, and a tree in his yard, a big tree, fell on him and killed him. And he lived not far from where I am. I don't know why he did that, but I guess he felt the need to be out there for some reason. Thank you, Loveline, for the super sticker. Well, yeah, I mean, I can understand if they're keeping lights on, Tanya E., but it didn't make sense to keep lights on high rises that nobody was in. The street, because I remember how iced over the roads were in Texas. It was iced over. And I'm sure nobody was getting up and going to work in that. So, if anything, they could have kept those lights off, or maybe um, turn them on, but at some point in time, just shut them all off. They could have done that. But I mean, I just couldn't believe people had babies and small children and they had no power. That was crazy. Because I remember one infant died. One infant, it was a newborn. And when the power went out, I guess the mother just couldn't do a sufficient job in keeping that baby warm. And the baby died. And I read, I think over 700 people died in Texas from that one storm. The Thunder Sound, thank you so much for the super chat. Downtown Dallas is largely residential. Oh, okay. Okay. Loveline, thank you so much for the super sticker. And then I remember the wind turbines down there stopped. Let me tell you something. Here in the Northeast, we have wind turbines. It can go down to -3, -4. Those turbines will still turn. And I was shocked when they showed the wind turbines down there in Texas, and them suckers were not moving. And I was like, wait a minute, those are supposed to work no matter what the temperature is. It can be the hottest day or the coldest day. Those turbines will still turn. They did around here in New Jersey and New York. Those turbines kept right on going, even on our coldest day. So when I saw that down in Texas, I was shocked to see that. Those things they're supposed to continue to work. Even if you are in sub temperatures, those turbines are supposed to still turn. Now, I don't know if that was the case, because Brandon, when the news reported it, they said that the turbines were frozen. And I was like, wait a minute. I thought those things were supposed to always work regardless of the weather. At least that's what I heard about them when they first started putting them up. Loveline, thank you for the super sticker. But yeah, that's what they were saying on the news in Texas, that they were frozen. And I was like, wait a minute, how can they be frozen? Yeah, in Canada, they continue to work. That's what they're supposed to do. At least when I heard about those wind turbines, I always heard they would work in even some of the sub-freezing temperatures. They always work. But in Texas, they went still. And I'm like, whoa. Now that's supposed to supply electricity. Yeah, maybe that's what it was, Keeson. They weren't weatherized, but they're supposed to be. Yeah. So, I mean, that's really all you can do is prepare the best that you can. I mean, it's a tough situation when you are stuck in a place and all the power is out. Another suggestion for food, you might want to get something that works by gas or propane, that you can just go outside and make or warm up some food and be able to eat that when the power is out. I mean, even I have that. I have a grill that works by propane, and then I have one that works by charcoal. And sometimes, like in like extreme cold, when you try to use the charcoal, it may not stay lit quite as well. But if you use propane, you'll be perfectly fine in heating up food. Yeah. All right, y'all. We've been on here for a while, almost an hour. So if there's any more updates, I will definitely clue you in on. I think the big ones in New Jersey is Gabrielle Elfig in that situation, and also Edward Cagney Matthews. So, he should be going back to court towards the end of this month. I think it's the 25th of August. He has another court appearance. So if there's any updates published locally, I will keep you informed of that. We'll see what happens. I know the last time he made an appearance, he actually went before a black judge, and that judge was very adamant about not letting him out. He did not want him to be released. And that was during his arraignment. So he's going to be making another appearance, and I'm sure he's probably going to try to get out. But that judge was like, no, he's a flight risk. He did not want him out. So we'll see if he still feels the same way when he comes before him on August 25th. You never know. So everybody, please enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll come back at another time and touch on a different topic. Shalom, family.